As I mentioned, I think on Tuesday I might have said, not the easiest of cards. We'll have to see how it plays out. Whenever it's very, very warm, usually speed is prevalent, but again, we will see how it plays out. So we're looking at 27 minutes to post. I'll be back in about 12 on behalf of everyone here at Excel Entertainment. We want to welcome you to Fairmount Park.
I just wanted to tell you that the track conditions are up in the air right now. We did have some rain overnight, and so still not very warm as it's going to be for the next couple of days after today. And you can see, looking down towards the quarter-mile pole, the home stretch, we do have some standing water, so we'll wait for the stewards to give us the track ruling coming up. Imagine again, could be muddy, could be wet fast, could be good. We will let you know as soon as possible. 26 minutes until the first. I have just been told the track conditions will be, show it Jordan, type it in. I know you can. Jordan is our graphic guy. There you go.
Post for the Lid Lifter, opener race here on the Saturday card. Welcome back, everybody. Peter Lurie with you on this gorgeous, bit hot and steamy day over at Fairmount Park. Do want to mention I misspoke. I assumed with all the heat that it would dry up pretty quick, but it hasn't. The track condition is listed as muddy. Can I say that again? Track listed as muddy for all of you watching us now on YouTube. Just want to make sure you got that also. We're looking at 5 furlongs. These are 2-year-old maidens. These are open, so they're in for the $18,000 to kick off the $1 pick 3 and the 50-cent pick 5. A few scratches in the race, one of which I really liked, but we will not dawdle. We will move right on. Let's get down to the horses. They're in the paddock. Looking at the field, I got to go with, like everybody else, this horse right in front of you. 6-5, 10-Mile House for the Pole family and partners. A 2-year-old son of Game Winner for trainer Jimmy Watkins, who's hitting currently at 22% here at the meet. Watkins 0 for 8 with his first-time starters, so maybe that's a concern. It still isn't for me. I got to go with him. This horse has worked very well. I love the pattern. Back-to-back gate drills on June 30th and July 14th, both of them bullets. I think what it probably came down to, whenever you see back-to-back, unless you know a trainer specifically does that with these 2-year-olds, either the trainer wasn't happy, the track was not happy, or both were not happy with what they saw coming out of the gate. It's nothing to do with what they're racing. They just want to make sure that when a horse comes out of the gate, they come out as straight as possible and they're ready to go. They don't hesitate. They don't dwell. You know, it's just, that's kind of what they're hoping for. So I think the work pattern looks right. Debut maiden special weights also 0 for 7. Now, here's the key, though. When you're dealing with that, the samples for the first-time starter and the debut maiden special weights are 7 and 8. To me, if it's not at least 45, 50 horses in the sample, it's really difficult to make an assumption one way or the other. So I'm going to stick with 10-Mile House on top. The horse in front of you is More Money to Start for Terry Burtis. There's Terry right there in front of you. This horse, well meant by the public in the debut, in the mud, by the way. I can understand why the horse is being played, but it's only because now we're a field of 4. Nobody's not being played. This horse didn't have much speed, but made a nice little move down the stretch to be second best, beaten 3/4 of a length for the whole thing. So the horse has the right to be considered in this situation. I think really if you're playing the pick 5, here's the silly thing. With our field originally of 7, I was going with 3 horses in the pick 5, just because I thought it's a 2-year-old race. But now you almost feel like you just got to take them all. I'm going to stick with it. I'm sticking with the ticket I got. But they always say if you're going to take more than half the field, you usually should be taking all of them, because you just don't know. 4 horses, Serene Empress. She was in that aforementioned race, 2-year-old daughter of First Samurai. She's bred for the distance. I wrote down tricky because even though it was a muddy track and all bets are off at that point, she was 4 in front at the head of the lane and she gets beat 2.5. I never like to see a horse with that kind of a change from the 8th pole to the wire. That's just a tiring horse. Now, an exception can be made, obviously, because it was their very first race, and B, it was on a muddy track. So you really don't know how tiring was it. But it makes a lot of sense. Angel Stanley gets the call. He's hitting at 15%. He's getting the job done. The Burtis Barn here with 2 here in the race, looking for their 3rd winner of the meet. So not a particularly huge pick 5 ticket, but I'm just going to go with it. By the way, since we've only got a small field, we might as well talk about the 3, Midnight Minister. Steve Manley setting this one out. The works don't jump off the page, but I think it just kind of gives the appearance that This is a race they're just going to have one to start and see what they got and then access from there. So 254 is how I'm going to see it. First time starter, and that is 10 Mile House for the Jimmy Watkins Barn Pole and Partners. Good luck, and good luck to everyone.
Welcome to the first of 8 races over the muddy going. The first is for 2-year-olds. 2 making their debuts, 2 making their sophomore efforts. Scratch the 1 Pokey Loki, the 6 Schratz, and the 7 Get Hot, Stay Hot. Here's your field. First is 10 Mile House, running for the ownership of Stephen Pohl, Dennis Pohl, and Gary Agnew, trained by Jimmy Watkins. Travis Wales has the ride. The 3 is Midnight Minister for Don Griffin. Steve Manley trains with Alexander Bendezu in the irons. For Proverbs Stable LLC, Terry Burdess trains the 4 Serene Empress with Angel Stanley up. And another 4 owner-trainer Terry Burdess has more money to start, the 5 with Alvin Ortiz. That's your field for the first. 5 furlongs the distance, post time 6 minutes. Win place exacta trifecta early daily double. You have pick 3 for $1 and a 50-cent pick 5 that gets started. You have 2 geldings, a colt, and a filly ready to rumble in the first. 5 furlongs in 5 minutes. 1 minute. Almost reached the starting gate for the first of 8. Final wagers. Two-year-olds have reached the starting gate. 85 for 95. Track muddy. 2 more to load. They're in the gate. And they're off. Good beginning for 10 Mile House. 10 Mile House is out together with Serene Empress. 10 Mile House takes over the early advantage by a half a length. It's Serene Empress, the lone filly, in here with the boys in second. Up there, a hopeful third, is More Money to Start and Last. Around the turn they go as Midnight Minister, trailing by 7.5. They reached the 3/8 onto the 550-yard in the opener. 10 Mile House has some chasers. It's More Money to Start who gains, backing out just a bit of Serene Empress, and still last is Midnight Minister. The field of 4 has reached the straight, past the 330. 10 Mile House still out by half a length. On the move is More Money to Start. 10 Mile House, More Money to Start, final 16th. More Money to Start, fighting back. 10 Mile House, More Money to Start by a long neck. 10 Mile House, good debut. Then well back to Midnight Minister and Serene Empress. Safe to say you'll see all 4 of those win sometime this meeting. You already saw one of the 4. Probably win right back. Number 5, More Money to Start. Bred in Kentucky by Spermaco LLC. Owned and trained by Terry Burdess. 2-year-old gelded son of Upstart out of the Creative Cause mare, Mrs. S. The winning time, a bit wonky on the tote board. I'm thinking it's a minute .56. We'll clear it up for you. $2 win ticket gets you back $7. $2.60 to place. Because of the scratchers, there was no show wagering. Trifecta, $8.20 for the 5, 2, and 3. $2.80 to place on 10 Mile House. The winning time again, 1 minute, 0.56 seconds. And there's your winner. More money to start. Second time a charm. Congratulations to rider Alvin Ortiz is first of the meet. In the second race, there are no program changes. We sprint 5 1/2 furlongs, going back just 110 yards. These are fillies and mares coming up next for a claiming price of $6,250. The purse is $11,500. Non-winners of 3 in their racing careers. Second race comes up in just about 19 minutes. Owner and trainer Terry Burdess rings the bell, signifying more money for Thoroughbred Aftercare.
Second race on the card coming up here momentarily. Welcome back, everybody, here on this hot, steamy, and muddy track. Although, like I thought it was going to play, very speed favoring so far. And I agree with Keith Nelson. First of all, Keith, congratulations. That was a nice pick on your part. I had him second, you put him on top, and that one was the win with more money to start. I do agree with you, though. I think these horses are not going to be maidens for very long. 10 Mile House in particular looked good. The barn usually doesn't hit right off the bat, and I definitely think this one's probably sitting on a win. Turn our attention over to the second race on the card. This race, a 5.5 furlongs, $62.50, non-winners of 3 lifetime. It's going to kick off the pick 3, $1, and the $1 pick 4 at a distance of 5.5 furlongs. Let's take a look at the runners. Tough to look away from the actual betting favorite, the one horse No Pay, No Hay. Now, for those of you right now who are saying, I don't know what you're talking about, the horse did not run well at Prairie Meadows for 15 non-winners of 3. Probably a little tougher than they're facing today. Came over here in a non-winners of 3 for 10,000, and again, showed a little bit of interest and just wasn't right there. Now, Johannes Arengeren climbs aboard. This horse, I personally believe, has speed. And on a day like this, I think if she can get this one out of the gate, I get why this horse is 1-5. It's also a situation where, and I say this a lot, so here it comes again. You may say to yourself, well, what has this horse done? Well, it's more of who are they facing today? And I think today is their day. I don't like 1-5 at all. I think that's very low. But for the exotics, I can understand why they are. Not the only horse I'm using, though. I thought the 5 horse, She Stopped Short, is an interesting horse to look at for Joel Campbell. Campbell, with his first horse running at the meet, hitting it currently 12% over at the Hawthorne by way of Tampa Bay circuit. This horse put in a decent second on May 14th. I actually was better than decent over at Hawthorne, going 5.5 furlongs. I'm not sure what happened on that June 4th race. Just was empty at the head of the lane. But it looked like a lot of the horses were too. The winner won by 8.25 lengths. So if you think about it, 2 lengths separating the rest of the field. I think the horse makes sense. Corey Orm gets the call. We've already given his accolades. Cat's hitting at 15%. Really glad to see Corey doing as well as he's doing. And expecting good things over the rest of the season for him. This is a horse that doesn't have a tremendous amount of speed, but if somebody decides to go out with No Pay, No Hay, and I think there are a couple who very well could, this is the most likely to come get them. 2 horse in front of you there is Lily's Home. 7-2 from that 9-5 morning line. Brody Martinez gets the call for the Gene Sendrowski barn. This horse was a very, I would say, even third rather, back on June 25th over at Hawthorne. And as you've been looking on the social media pages, looks like we're going to see a lot more Hawthorne horses that will be coming on over here. It's kind of sad, but we're glad they're coming. That's all I can say. This horse, can they win? Sure. If you go back to April 29th, albeit of last year, this horse won for fun against the non-winners of 2, going 5.5 on a sloppy track right here at Fairmount Park. So can they win? Yes. I think they're the ones that if there's a pace hookup are going to get the first look. Not a bad looking horse either. Ears kind of going back and forth. Really what you want to see. Looks very relaxed, very professional. Rounding out the top 4 for yours truly, Primity, the 6 horse for Jess Jelinski. This is a 6-year-old Temple City. His grandsire is Dinah Former. 2 for 13 at the distance. Brisnet's speed index numbers, not the top of the heap. I think more from an exotic standpoint. The last time this horse won a race was back in June of last year. And since then has, rattled off 12 races and has yet to get to the winner's circle. So they're going to have to prove it for me. But if you're looking for a horse for the exotics in the race, I think absolutely. Why couldn't this horse be there? Nice and relaxed. Jessica's just sitting there chatting. Horse looks okay. $1 pick 3 and the $1 pick 4 being offered in this race. 9 minutes to post. We see it 1526 in our pick 5 ticket. We are using the 5 horse. She stopped short and could be the one to get them if it gets to be a pace hookup. But for all intents and purposes, 3 to 5 favorite on the line. The rail trip, no pay, no hay. Good luck to John Maroney and his partner, Merritt Hudson. Horse is coming out shortly. Good luck.
In the second race, it's for fillies and mares 3 years of age and upwards which have never won 3 races, the distance 5.5 furlongs. Wagering menu, win play show, you have rolling daily doubles for $1. You have rolling pig threes for $1, exacta, trifecta, superfecta, win play show wagering, and the early dollar pick 4 wager. That comes up in 6 minutes. There are no changes to race 2. Check out Fairmount Park live racing each Tuesday and Saturday afternoons at 1:30. Go to Fairmount Park Racing and click on the live icon, and boom, you're there. You can even repeat and hit the replay throughout the day. The board is being rebooted, so do not worry. Have 3 minutes until the second race, 3 minutes. Just about 1 minute for all wagers in the early dollar pick four. Air Jerry acting up on the way to the starting gate. Javier Diego okay. Field of 6, almost at the starting gate. Final wagers for race 2. Loading in. One two-turn distance race today. That comes up later on in race number 5 at a mile 70 yards. Looks like one to go in. That's from the outside, Primity. Fillies and mares ready for race 2. Flag is up. And they're off. Nice start for Lily's Home, who gets the jump on. She stops short. But it's Lily's Home out to an uncontested lead. Air Jerry, a bit wonky inside the gate, comes out second and is vying for the front. Wildwood Encore runs third, just a length back. In fourth on the center of the going as she stops short, seems to not like the mud. Well back to No Pay No Hay, who has the rail but is covered up on the outside by Primity. Not much separation here, about 6 lengths from front to back. Dueling front runners around the turn towards the 5/16 pole. Lily's Home recaptures the front from Air Jerry, who goes back. No Pay No Hay. And nowhere to go for No Pay No Hay. Now swings out into the 3-path and means business. They head down the lane. It's Lily's Home. No Pay No Hay down the center. Comes She Stops Short. Nothing from far back. Wandering is Primity. New leader, deep stretch. No Pay No Hay. And Johannes Orangaren to score by just over a length. She stopped short second. Primity got through and found third. Lily's Home was fourth. Unofficially 1, 5, 6, and 2. 6-5 favorite obliges. Race 2 is now official. Welcome back to the winner's enclosure. Winner of today's second race, number 1, No Pay No Hay in Jockey Johanna Sarangaren. Owned by John Maroney and Merritt Hudson, trained by Steve Manley. No Pay No Hay is a 5-year-old daughter of Audible. Out of the Sligo Bay mare, Bideawee Island, bred in Kentucky by Julia B. Rice. The winning time, 5.5 furlongs in 106.26 seconds. 1:06 and 1/5 of a second. The exact $9.50 try, $12.80. The early double, 5 with 1, $9.10. 10-cent superfecta, 1, 5, 6, and 2, just shy of $5. All 6 ran in race number 2. More money for Thoroughbred Aftercare in the third race. Scratch number 4, Granddaddy Longlegs. Third race to go 6 furlongs, 3/4 of a mile, $6,250. The claiming price for 3-year-olds and up that have never won 5 races. Post time coming up in 19 minutes. Track condition has now been upgraded from muddy to good. Good racetrack. 16 minutes until the third.
Welcome back, everybody. 14 minutes to post race number 3 here on this humid, hot day. Track has been upgraded, as I figured it would be. Now tiring at good, but something tells me midway through the card we might be up to fast track. Want to say a lot of props to Johannes Arengeren, the 7-pound apprentice. She was the rider of the winner, No Pay, No Hay, for John Maroney and his partner. That horse did not break well. Spotted the field. She didn't panic. She took a hold, hung on the rail, spun out, and got the win. I thought that was very impressive on her part. Got bet up to 6-5, so still favorite price, but we'll take it. Third race on the card, 6 furlongs, the distance 62.50. Non-winners of 5 lifetime. And I should mention, today is a special birthday for my pop, who's watching us in the big racetrack in the sky. He would have been 103. Yeah, he had a very nice life. So, Pop, this one is for you, and it's very appropriate that the horse I like on top is a horse by name of Honest Al. Let's take a look at the field. They're down in the paddock. Isn't a day doesn't go by that I don't miss him. He gave me my love for racing. Taught me how to read a racing form at age 4, so that's kind of his fault, I guess. But he was a good man. He lived to the ripe old age of 91, so had a good life. Definitely had a good life. Honest Al, the one horse, Victor Lara gets the call for Ben DeLong. Comes off a 4.5 length victory on June 30th. Was in the Amy Nesbitt barn, was claimed that day by DeLong, who has a pretty good number. He hits at 21% first after the claim based on a sample of only 19. So jury's still out, but that's a good number nonetheless. The horse is a proven winner at the distance. 3 of the 7 have hit the board. Brisnett's speed number, one of the tops here. And Victor Lara, as I mentioned, he is making the most of the opportunities he gets. He was aboard for this horse's last 2 victories. 2 of the last 3 races have been a winner for this horse, and Victor Lara was aboard for both of them. So I get it if you like this horse at 6-5. I don't like the price, but it is what it is. Go to the just the outside of them, and that's On the Money Red for Gabe Ratana. This is a 6-year-old Texas Red who was beaten 3, but it was kind of a 1-pace third on a wet fast track back on July 11th. Horse will probably sit in the second flight. 3 for 21 in the winner's circle of the distance. 5 seconds, 6 thirds. Co-top Brisnett speed number of the race. And again, if you don't have Brisnett, you definitely need to get into it. I think it's a really, really strong publication that I've been using for the last 20 years, or probably more. We just don't know what this horse is going to do on a good track. That's the question. I think the style probably suits them well, and I think they'll be sitting in a good spot. Looks nice and relaxed. Ears not really moving, just relaxed. Another day in the life. Like what I'm seeing. Let's move our attention to the 6, Mr. Sharpie. A 6-year-old Sharp Azteca for Michael Durham. Adamir Santos gets the call. Horse was a winner, but you got to go back to August of last year, going 1 mile and 70 yards. So tough to make the case on what we've seen. 0 for 22 at the distance with 3 seconds and 3 thirds. The numbers are right, speed index wise. Son of Sharp Azteca, whose pop was Freud. Bernardini on the Dam's mare, Queen Jolene. It's an interesting horse. It's definitely an interesting horse. 7-2 is a fair price. It's just tough for me to put a case of this horse on top. Move our attention to the 3-horse Gallant Buck for Robert Pompel. Came from way out of it last time out. 3rd beaten 2.5. Looked like they were making a winning move at the top of the stretch and then just didn't make up anything. 3 for 22 at the distance, 2nd and 4 thirds. You can make the case if there's a pace hookup. But with the scratch of Granddaddy Longlegs, to me it's a tough case. Tough sell. I mean, if On the Money Red decides to get out there and fight with them, very well could. Maybe. But I think Honest Al, if they want the lead is theirs. So, 9 minutes to post, starting of another $1 pick three wager has become very popular here at Fairmount Park. 1263. Happy birthday, Pop. Honest Al, hopefully to the winner's circle. Good luck.
Over the good upgraded track, we have $6,250 non winners of five claiming horses. Scratch the four out of today's third race. Rolling doubles, rolling pick threes, exactas, trifectas, win and place wagering, as well as superfectas. Post time coming your way in 5 minutes. Just over 2 minutes for all bets in the third, just over 2 minutes. One minute. Field for race 3 loading in. Honest Al and Gallant Buck. On the money red. Purple Octopus and then Mr. Sharpie. We scratch out the 4, ready for the third. 6 is moving in. Almost in with the 6. Not quite ready. Now they seem to be. Flag is up. And they're off. Really good beginning in the center for Gallant Buck. Got the jump. There goes Purple Octopus up closer than usual to vie for the front with On the Money Red. Rail opens for Honest Al, who moves on up towards the front. Wider to Mr. Sharpie. And last dropping anchor is Gallant Buck, who goes from the top to the bottom now, but likes to run on late. It's Honest Al. It's On the Money Red. They're in synchronization up top. Just waiting for things to develop as Mr. Sharpie in third. Purple Octopus has dropped just a little bit, but likes to come from far back. And Gallant Buck is given his cue by the Bug Girl. Around the turn past the 550 they go. On the money red, out by a length and a half from Honest Al. Mr. Sharpie's about to take over the runner-up spot. Here she comes again along the inside fence. Gallant Buck is gaining up ever so slightly. They're into the stretch run. Final 220 yards. On the money red may have a challenger in that of Mr. Sharpie late. And Gallant Buck along the inside trying to cling on. On the money red is passed and won by Honest Al. Honest Al, the kitty's pal. Into the winner's circle, winner of the third race, number 1, Honest Al and jockey Victor Lara. Co-owned by Francis Bastani Jr. and Cassie Corvin, trained by Benjamin DeLong. Honest Al is a 5-year-old gelded son of Always Dreaming out of the Speightstown mare. Bahan, bred in Kentucky by CHC Incorporated. Off odds 3 to 5, paid $320 and $260. No show wagering with the scratch of number 4. Track condition was good. The exacta $5.90, trifecta $5.80. The early pick 3, $19.40. And we'll give you the rest of those. Trifecta again, $5.80 for the 1, 6, and 2. The race 2 and 3, double 1 and 1, $3.50. 10-cent superfecta, not even $2. Congratulations again to the winning connections of Honest Al, who will be going to a very familiar home. Was claimed out of race number 3 for $6,250 by new trainer Amy Nesbitt, for new owner Dale Gestis. Upcoming 4th race, scratch number 2, Wildwood Triple, and number 4, Then, Now, and Always. Field of 4, run in honor of the Long family. $20,000 Illinois bred or foaled fillies and mares, sprinting 3/4 of a mile for a purse of $39,500, coming up in the 4th race in 19 minutes.
14 minutes to post for race number 4 here on the docket. These are state bred, optional claiming 20,000 non-winners of 3 lifetime. And guess what? They're in for a $39,500 price. What am I telling you? If you have Illinois breds, you need to be at Fairmount Park. It's as simple as that. The distance 6 furlongs starts off another $1 pick 3. Horses down the paddock. For all you folks that are watching on YouTube, it is time to take a look at the field. Here on the docket, these are state bred. That was me rubbing my nose. How about that? Looking at the field, I mean, there were a couple of big scratches out of the race. One importantly was Then, Now, and Always. That was a big scratch, but it is what it is. We're now down to a field of 4. And to me, it looks like the outside horse, 8-5. Second choice in the wagering, Lady Elise for Mark Christelle. Now, they were a winner last time out going a mile, and they're cutting back. However, they broke the maiden here last October at the distance of 6 furlongs, and they won it pretty handily. Frankie Reyes gets the call. Reyes making the most of the opportunities he's getting. Horse was training over at Hawthorne and has no works over here. But, as I was just alluding to, the 2 times this horse raced at Fairmount Park, they've won. So they definitely have a feel for the track. Mark Christelle, he's only sent out 1 this season, and that was a winning one back on July 14th. So they're coming back pretty quick. 9 days, and they come right, or actually 11 days, and they come right into it. So I like the horse. 8-5 is a fair price in a field of 4, and we'll just take it. Move our attention to the 3 Nella for Eddie Essenprice. Another one who came off a win. Another one going 2 turns. Interesting situation. Another horse that back in October of last year was a maiden winner for the distance of 6 furlongs. First and second in 3 tries at the distance. Likes the track. 2 for 8 in the winner's circle with 3 seconds. And is just floating under $67,000 in earnings. This is a daughter of Lord Nelson from a Ready Image mare. Say y'all pray for me. It's probably going to need some help up front. And this is a race where I think Lady Elise is just going to get out there and roll, and then we'll just see if they're good enough to go whole away. 5 horse rolling out the top 4 here. Halo Honey, the other Eddie Essenprice, likes to pick up checks. 2 for 17 with 6 seconds and 2/3. So if you're looking for an exotic type, 1 for 13 here at the track, 1 for 10 at the meet. This is probably one for an exacta play. But yeah, it's kind of tough to make the case one way or the other. And then rounding out the group, who is it? Oh, Coley, the one for John Wainwright. This horse was a winner going 5.5 furlongs against this same type of condition, although it was a non-winners of 2, back in the early part of last year here at Fairmount Park. Since then, has been picking up checks, but nothing really to write home about. 0 for 4 at the distance. Longest shot on the board at 5-1. But you know, they always say, if there's a field of 4 or less, you take the longest shot on the board. It'd be tough for me to make a case for Coley to win, but for those of you who can, hey, bullet drill on July 17th in preparation for this race. So, 6, 3, 5 is how I see it. So far, fairly formful day here, but I'm not expecting it to change, at least in this race. Second choice at 8-5, that is the 6 horse, Lady Elise for the Mark Christelle barn. Horse will be coming out on the track momentarily. Good luck.
Illinois bred or foaled fillies with the 2 scratches, number 2 Wildwood Triple and the 4 Then Now and Always, have been scratched in this $20,000 allowance optional claiming race, sprinting 3/4 of a mile. Race number 4 is run, sponsored by the Long family, who will be in the winner's circle. Wagering menu: win and place, exacta, trifecta, rolling dollar doubles, and rolling dollar pick threes. Post time 6 minutes. Track good. Starting in race number 5, the late edition of the dollar pick 4. We go a mile 70 yards in race number 5 with a field of 7. No changes. In the 6th race, just an overweight on the 4, time to toast at 1 pound over. Field of 7 coming up for race 6. In the 7th race, scratch out the 7 Essential Wildcat. Field of 7. And the 8th and final, scratch out the 6 Rhodium's Pride, making it a field of 8. Late pick 4 for $1 is the way to go. 4th race coming up in race, 4 minutes or so. Get those wagers in. Field of 4, headed toward the starting gate for this Illinois bred $20,000 allowance optional claiming race for a purse of $39,500. Next live racing card will be coming up on Tuesday. And a week from today, 74 horses entered for 8 races. Final bets for race 4. Field loading in. Four 4-year-old fillies in the gate, ready. Oh, acting up first was the 1 Coley. They're settled. State veterinarian has made a call, and starter Kelly Mulvaney is telling them to back out the 1 Coley. On advice of the track veterinarian, by order of the steward, scratch number 1 Coley from the 4th race. Coley has been withdrawn, scratched at the gate. So we will see what transpires now. They're going to take all 3 out. So we'll be back with you momentarily. Gate scratch, number 1 Coley. If you had Coley in any of your rolling doubles, you'll receive a consolation double. If you had Coley in your pick 5 sequence, you'll receive the race time favorite. If you already have the race time favorite, you will have it again. Coley was the longest shot on the board, although be it at 6-1 upon scratch time. Trifecta wagers will be refunded. Winner place bets on the 1 will be refunded as well. So do not worry about that. The trio will be loaded in back in the gate here shortly. If you watched journalism last weekend, you kind of saw him false start, and that ended up giving him an injury and or causing an injury, thus his retirement from Del Mar after he came back and won that race. Coley kind of did the same thing, just really rattled around and then sat there and seemed to be okay. State Vet was right there, though. So was Kelly Mulvaney, our starter. It looks like we're loading back in. This hopefully won't take long. The three remaining in the starting gate. No sudden movements. And the trio of 4-year-old fillies are off and running. And the 1-9 favorite at post time, Lady Elise, got the best of the jump as they start to just roll around. Halo Honey is up amongst as well. And Nella, the late runner, is going to play catch the top running pair, who might be dueling each other into submission. It's Halo Honey by a neck. Lady Elise is just on the outside, and Nella just watching things develop. Opening quarter mile, 22 2/5 a second, and Lady Elise has put it on Halo Honey. Coming up is Nella, who's prompted by the rider and says now, and Lady Elise is gone by 3. Halo Honey still giving chase. Nella has to make up 8 lengths as they go towards the quarter pole. And here comes Nella, meaning business. Half mile, 45 1/5 of a second. If Nella's going to do it, this is the day at 7-2, and she's rolling down the center of the racetrack. Nella has the bullseye in front, and that bullseye is on Lady Elise, and Nella's going to try to get her. Lady Elise still there. Nella goes by, and Nella scores. It happens so often when you have many, many scratches in a race and you're down to a short field. Usually is one of the most exciting events of the afternoon, and that was that. Nella scores at 7-2. And the Long family in the winner's circle gets to have their pictures taken with number 3, Nella, who's coming back. You bet $2 on Nella, you get $9.60 back for the win. $2.40 to place. No show wagering. Trifectas were refunded with the late scratch in the starting gate on number 1, Coley. Come from behind, winning time 1:12 and 18 100ths of a second. Now coming into the winner's circle, along with the Long family. Number 3, Nella and jockey Adamar Santos, owned by Andy Calloway and bred in Illinois by its winning owner, Eddie Essen Price, the winning trainer of this 4-year-old daughter of Lord Nelson out of the Reddy's Image mare. Say a little prayer for me. The 1, 2, and 4 were scratched from race number 4. There are your totals. Pick 3 for races 2, 3, and 4, $48.20. Coming up in the 5th race, we go the 2-turn, 1 mile, 70-yard distance. It's an open filly and mare, $4,000 claiming race. More money for thoroughbred aftercare. Post time for the 5th race coming up in 19 minutes.
14 minutes to post for race number 5. Welcome back, everybody, on this Saturday of racing here at Fairmount Park. Remember, hydration is the key for those who are watching over here on YouTube. We've seen a little something for everybody, man. 3-horse field. That was a gutsy move down the stretch to get the win beaten. A 1-9 shot. Now, we're live in this pick 5. But honestly, I don't think it's going to pay much, and I'm glad my ticket was only $18. For those of you who are also just alive, hopefully your ticket is even smaller. Let's take a look at the horses. They're down in the paddock. Coming down, the horse in front of us there, that's the 3, and that is Hot Dame. Starting off the late pick 4 here also. I thought you could go 3 deep, and I did. And I do believe in both sequences as I go back to my notes. Yep. But I got the 3 on top, Hot Dame. 3-2 from the 3-1 line. I'm a little surprised by the early wagering, but we'll see how it plays out. I think what it comes down to is this is a professional racehorse. At the distance of 1 mile and 70 yards, 27 attempts, 10 winners, 8 seconds, 2/3, just under $168,000 in earnings. The Brisnet numbers are strong. I'm actually surprised the horse wasn't favorite right off the bat. But here's the knock. The horse hasn't won since June of last year at Prairie Meadows in Iowa. So that's a little bit of a concern. But I think, again, it might be who they're facing. And they're getting played hard in this field of 7. One horse is some of it for Gabe Ratana. Comes in from a Hawthorne 7-length victory against a similar type of group. I shouldn't say that because my opinion, and it is my opinion, conditional claimers are one thing. Open claimers are a completely different animal. Because when you're going, in this case today, 4,000 open, it means you could have 45 winners to your boot. And if you want to come in for 4,000, you're in. And I do believe this might be the first time they're facing open company. This is a 5-year-old, so it's possible earlier in their career. 4 for 20 lifetime, 2 for 8 at the distance. But they're definitely facing what I think was a much tougher group than that 7-length win last time out. Doesn't mean they can't do the same thing again, and that's why I have this horse second and included in the pick 5 and in this late pick 4. Go to the 7, She Be Sheehan, 6-year-old daughter of Shaman Ghost, whose pop, of course, was Ghost Sapper. Ghost Sapper could do anything. Anywhere before 5.5 furlongs and 1.25 miles, this horse was a winner, including the Breeders' Cup Classic down at Lone Star Park. The horse makes sense for Dino DeZeo, who's making his Fairmount Park debut of the year. This horse has never seen this track. They've been competing at Hawthorne, 1 race over at Mountaineer, and then earlier last year they were competing at Oaklawn Park. So where are the negatives? The negatives are this horse hasn't won a race since at least 2024. I like the horse. I thought it was a must-use in the sequence, but it's tough to make the case. Now you got the hungry rider Brody Martinez aboard. I think they should probably be very close to the lead, but considering there really isn't a guaranteed upfront runner, don't be surprised if Brody just takes this horse right to the lead if they break well. Could be a good spot for them. Rounding out the top 4, Wicked Sky for John Wainwright. This horse came from the clouds last time out and got up in the final strides for the win under Travis Wales. Wales stays aboard. Wales hitting at 17% at the meet. You know my feelings on him. I'm a big fan of Travis Wales, this veteran rider. He sits well. He rides pretty much everything well. And it just comes down to getting the opportunities, which he's been doing. And currently with 13 winners at the meet going into today's card. 1 for 5 at the distance, 3 for 5 hitting the board. The Brisnet numbers say this horse probably more of a exotic horse, an underneath horse than a win. But again, this is a horse that's going to have to hope that there is some sort of a pace hookup. And it's not saying that you couldn't have like the 3 Hot Dame, the 7 She Be Sheehan, deciding they were just going to roll out there. And then the one, some of it has been there before on the front end and has won going 2 turns. So there's a lot of question marks to be answered here. Keith Nelson and I have the race with the same 4 customers. We just have them in a slightly different order. But yeah, so it's going to be an interesting race. Anywho, 9 minutes to post, race number 5, 3172. We're closing out what little the pick 5 is going to be paying with the 1, 3, and 7, and those are exactly the 3 horses we're using in the pick 4. But we're going to put Hot Dame, the 3 horse, currently at 9 to 5. I think might go a little higher as our top selection. Good luck.
Race number 5 starts the late dollar pick 4 sequence. Older mares coming up. 1 mile, 70 yards the distance, $4,000 open claiming race, meaning all 7 of these gals are up for sale for $4,000 if you have an owner's license and have a trainer. There are no changes other than the non-published workout to the 5 Lucian that was held here on these grounds on the 17th of July. 4 furlongs and 50 3/5 of a second, breezing over the fast Fairmount Park track. Post time for the 5th race, 5 minutes. Win, play, show, exacta, trifecta, superfecta, rolling daily doubles, rolling pig threes, and the late pig four. It all starts within 5 minutes. Field approaching the starting gate for race 5. You have 1 minute. Final bets, they've reached the gate. Some of it loading in with Julia's on. Moving in Wicked Sky. Will be closing from far back. Lucian. Last two, Hot Dame and She Be Sheehan. Seven mares in the starting gate. Flag is up. And they're off. Rocket start for Hot Dame, who gets loose on the lead with Julia's on close up, and from an outside stall comes Life of Saturdays to go up front. So around turn number one, it's going to be Hot Dame, and on its outside is Life of Saturdays, and some of it got closed off there and will settle in third. Fourth from the outside stall is She Be Sheehan, running on the outside. Next, backing out early, is Julia's on fifth. Running sixth, a bit headstrong, is late running Wicked Sky, and Lucian is last. They go cruising by the 6 furlong mark, and dueling leaders, Hot Dame and Life of Saturdays. Life of Saturdays now backs out just a tad. Some of it, with Alex Bendezu aboard, is now third and saving all the ground. On that's outside is She Be Sheehan. Now moving on up in the yellow is Wicked Sky, who's running in fifth. Sixth on that one's inside is Julia's on, and on the far outside, losing all kinds of ground, is late running Lucian. They're well bunched into the second turn past the 3/8 pole. Recapturing the lead, Life of Saturdays. Hot Dame is in trouble, and some of it is now switched to the outside, but toiling on the far outside with right hand urging. Splitting is Wicked Sky, who means business. Lucian is gaining, but going 7 wide. Toiling far back as She Be Sheehan. This one's out of it. They're into the stretch. On the inside, Julia's on has taken over the lead. Trying to maneuver through traffic is Some of It, who got closed off. Wicked Sky is rolling after Julia's on at 5-1. Wicked Sky, but it's Julia's on. Going to score by half a length. Wicked Sky second, then Some of It was third, and Hot Dame fourth. Four, 2-1-3 unofficial. 4-2-1-3, 5-1. Over 9-2, over 7-2, over 5-2. Race 5 now official. Moving back into the winner's circle. Second win this 2026 campaign for Julia's on and jockey Javier Diego. Owned and bred in Kentucky by Dr. Terry Morgan. Owned by Sharon Morgan. Trained by John Wainwright. Julia's on is an 8-year-old daughter of Liaison. And of the proud citizen mare Jewel May, bred in Kentucky. Again, the winning time over 1 mile 70 yards, 1 minute 45.83 seconds. $12, $6, $3.20. Wicked Sky, $6.20 and $3.40. Some of it $3.20. Exacta, $21.90. 10-cent Superfecta, $18.25. Pick 3 for races 3, 4, and 5, $60.10. The pick 5, $284. The early pick 4, $155. Race 4 and 5 daily double, pretty handsome indeed. We'll get back to that. Again, the pick 5, $284.10. The early pick 4, $155. Race 4 and 5 daily double, 3 with 4, $60.60. The trifecta, $31. Coming up, the 6th race, the HBPA Trophy Race. $15,000 the claiming price, non-winners of 3, sprinting 6 furlongs, 1 pound over on the 4. Post time for the 6th race in 18 minutes.
13 minutes to post, race number 6 here for all of you watching on YouTube. If you're at the track and you're saying, hey, I want to watch YouTube, go to the YouTube channel, mark in as a guest if you don't have an account, and then when it says search, just search for Fairmount Park horse racing, and it'll give it to you right to the day. You can watch it from the comforts of your own home. We're looking at a 6 furlongs, 15,000 non-winners of 3 lifetime to kick off the final pick 3. And yep, we're trying to get even. So let's see what we can do. Horses down in the paddock. Let's take a closer look. We'll go with the 3, 9-2 on the line, 5-2 second choice currently. I love the name. I Need More Money. Don't we all? It's a 3-year-old son of Cupid. He's had 2 tries to the distance, a winner and a second. Receives a very popular and decent Brisnet Speed Index number. I think should probably be just sitting off the flight of 2 of the horses that I think will be the early pace setters in the race. Victor Lara already with a winner on today's card, looking to get another one for Harry Lynch and the Lynch Racing. Horses won 2 of the last 3 races, 2 winners and a second. Lara has been aboard for all 4 of the last races, 2 winners, 2 seconds. So knows this gray 3-year-old son of Cupid quite well. So we're looking coming over right now with the blinkers on. Doesn't bother me. The horse has 8 races under the belt. So if Lynch feels it's better to bring him over with the blinkers to keep them from getting too anxious. I was trying to say antsy and it became anxy. Second choice for me will be the 6. Call Me Christine. Betting favorite currently for Ralph Martinez. His son Brody will ride. First time for Brody aboard this one. Although chances are he's probably been aboard this horse in the morning. From what I've been told on the backstretch, Brody's a very good hand in the morning. They tried some racing over at Churchill Downs on June 24th. It wasn't a bad race, but it was just kind of an even around the track against what could be considered much tougher than they're facing today. So hence the 6-5 morning line. Showed up on July 17th with a 49-4. That was a good work, going 4 furlongs that morning. So looks to be in a good spot. There's Ralph right now, tacking up. This is a horse that I think probably will be on the lead unless he gets left. I don't think he's a guaranteed front runner, but in a race like this where there really isn't a lot, I think the horse he tests with is a horse by the name of Time to Toast. So if he's not on the lead, he should be real close. Speaking of Time to Toast, looks like the overall pace setter has won wire to wire not once but twice here this year on April 14th and June 9th. It was claimed off of Terry Burtis by Jessica Jelinski, who gets the win. And then it goes over to Fernando Bahina. Not sure what happened there. Might have been a private purchase. Don't know. Bahina takes over. 3-year-old son of American Pastime. First start in his barn, 17%, a sample of 24. And is already proven at the distance of 6 furlongs. Rolling out the group, at least for me, the 7, Personal Jet for Heather Arian, the trainer. 5 for 11 hitting the board at the distance, 2 of which in the winner's circle. Travis Wales gets the call. He's been aboard for the previous 3. Horse doesn't really have any speed. Probably sitting in that second flight. And because it's a good track, it could play in their hands. We just saw that in the last race. Front end collapsed. And all the horses from the back end came up to hit the board. So it's one of those type of races that you just got to sit back and say, well, we'll hope for the best, but closers are probably where you want to be. So 3, 6, 4, 7 is how I'm seeing it. Track listed is good. It seemed like a tiring track last time out, but again, with the heat, it could be changing in the next race. We're going to put the 3, I Need More Money. Don't we all? Hopefully to get the money here in race number 6. Good luck.
Non-winners of 3 races for 3-year-olds and upwards for a claiming price of $15,000. They all sprint 3/4 of a mile in race 6. It's the HBPA Trophy Race. Field of 7 betting interest. The late dollar pick 3 starts with race number 6. You also have another rolling double, exacta, trifecta, superfecta, win place show wagering. 5 minutes. Just about 3 minutes for race 6, 3 minutes. Still have at least 1 minute until race 6. Field of 7 is headed towards the starting gate. Field begins to load in for race 6. Best man speech and time to toast are in. Almost. Best man speech next after King Anthony. The one best man speech giving a little bit of a problem. The filly in with the boys. Number 6, Call Me Christine, moves in 2-1. Bilderberg. 2 left. I Need More Money. Personal Jet. They're in the gate. And they're off. Wandering start on the inside for best man speech. Out very well in the center is King Anthony to show the way. Time to toast is closer and splitting. Towards the rail is Bilderberg in a close-up trio that persists on one another. Next we have the second flight of 3. In the center is Call Me Christine with Brody Martinez aboard. On the outside is Personal Jet, and the gray is I Need More Money. And way back to Best Man Speech is in a different area code. It's Bilderberg by a head. Fighting back in the center is Time to Toast. Flanked out is King Anthony in third. Moving up is Call Me Christine, who's rolling like a freight train, almost at the quarter pole. Far back to I Need More Money, and Personal Jet and Best Man Speech has to go, and go now. Wandering well out in the center of the course is Call Me Christine. Lost numerous lengths to the front runners. It's Bilderberg. On that one's outside throughout has been King Anthony. Back into it in the straightaway is Call Me Christine, but lost the race. It's Bilderberg. Bilderberg at 12-1. King Anthony second. Call Me Christine third, and then I Need More Money. Unofficially 2563 in race number 6. 2563. Race 6 has now gone official. The running time for Bilderberg, a minute 10.82 seconds, a minute 10 and 4/5. $25.60, $10.80 to place, $4 to show. The dollar exacta, $112.60, with King Anthony finishing second, paying $9.60 and $4.60. 50-cent trifecta, $90.45. Race 5 and 6 double, $66.20. 10-cent superfecta, $73.42. Welcome back to the winner's circle. Winner of the HBPA Trophy race. Happy birthday to IRB Chairman Bizzer. Congratulations, sir. We appreciate you being out here. Bilderberg is the winner, and a riding double for Adamar Santos, owned by Jody Durham, trained by Mike Durham. Bilderberg is a 4-year-old gelded son of Ghost Zapper out of the Smart Strike mare, Smart and Single, bred in Kentucky by Kaleem Shaw Incorporated. All 7 ran in the 6th race. Moving along. 7th race, scratch number 7, Essential Wildcat. Field of 7, 6 furlongs the distance, non-winners of 2, $20,000 allowance optional claiming race for 3-year-olds and up. Post time in 19 minutes.
Welcome back, everybody. 14 minutes to post for our late daily double. I got to tell you, as I've said before, when it turns out being a good surface, I don't usually fare well. And it looks like since it's become a good surface, my horses have not been doing too good. But for the sake of the exercise, we'll keep going. 6 furlongs the distance, optional claiming non-winners of 2 lifetime. These again are open breds, so no extra bonus for the state breds. Right now, though, we've got the horses. They're down in the paddock, so let's take a closer look at the runners. Horse in front of you is the 5, and that's Frankie P. Sticking to my guns here. Horse has got some speed. Was a winner and pretty handily against maiden special weights in the mud back on July 4th. I was there that day. That horse won pretty darn easy. But they're facing winners for the very first time. And they're also on a track that's not exactly loving the early front speed. So we'll see if they can get comfortable here for Eddie Essenprice, who's looking for another winner. Frankie P gets Johannes Adengaren. She was aboard the last time out. And she sticks together. The numbers-wise, I mean, totally makes sense. In fact, I believe she is the top Brisnet speed index in the race. Yes, she definitely is. So I think this horse makes a lot of sense. Looks like Eddie has decided, let's just give this horse a twirl before we tack up. Might have been getting a little anxious. That's a veteran horseman for you. You can just sense it and say, you know what, let's just give this horse a second and a turn around. Go to the 6 horse. Gun It and Run It for Robert Pompel. Ademir Santos, good day so far for Santos. I believe this was looking for his 3rd winner of the day. This horse was a hard beat second back on July 4th in that common race. 1 for 14 at the distance, but they've always shown a lot of fight, but not like that. That was a lot of fight down the lane. They were going about what they did the last time on June 13th. And still looked good doing it. And in fact, taking their time coming over here, as you can see. This is a 5-year-old son of Tamarka's, whose pop was Speightstown. Breeding says the horse should be fine at it. Looks very relaxed coming over. And yeah, they're running a little behind here on this one. So they'll get over. Absolutely. Let's put our attention back into the 3, Nyquist Frequency, the son of Nyquist, who I spent a lot of time around, including the first Breeders' Cup at Keeneland. What a tremendous racehorse from the family of Uncle Mo. 0 for 7, though, at the distance. 3 seconds and a third. Been very popular at the claiming box. 3 of the last 5 races going back to February of this year over at Oaklawn Park, the horse has been claimed. But Pat Clay decides to protect this one. Puts him in. Looks to be a good spot. I would guess is going to be in that second flight. There seems to be a fair amount of speed in the race. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're sitting just off of the pace. Rounding up our group, the 1 horse Galantini for Jimmy Watkins. Julio Felix stays aboard. He's been aboard for the previous 4. This horse was claimed at Turfway Park back in February during the winter months. And Watkins has been running this horse at this level, but they're in for the tag. The condition is 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races, or an optional claiming price of $20,000 for horses which have never won 2 races. Well, they've only won 1 race, so it's kind of interesting that they're in for the claiming tag. But we shall see. Another one that, you know, with the rail trip, their hand might be a little forced. Might have to make that early move, but you know, Watkins a very cagey trainer, so he puts them where they can win, and he puts them in for the tag they need to be in. So I'll not going to be one of those people that's going to doubt him. 5631. This is the late daily double. Getting ready to roll here. It's a $1 minimum, so that's good for folks who are kind of saying, well, I'm running out of my allowance money. So start things off with the late daily double, 5631. I'm going to stick with the 5-horse. That is Frankie P for Eddie Essen Price. Let's keep going, Eddie. We'll be back. Horses coming out on the track.
Race number 7 is a $20,000 non-winners of 2 allowance optional claiming race where 3-year-olds and up. Sprinting 6 furlongs, scratch the 7 Essential Wildcat. Time to play the late daily double. You have exacta, trifecta, superfecta, win, play, show, wagering. Post time in 5 minutes. Back in the fifth race, number one, that was the distance race today, 1 mile 70 yards. Some of it, who finished in third in race 5, was claimed out of race number 5 for $4,000 by new owner trainer Mark Anderson. Less than 2 minutes. You still have time to wager in race 7. Less than a minute, they're headed to the starting gate. Loading process has commenced. Galantini first in. There's governing party. Army Hero. Frankie P. Nyquist Frequency. Gun it and run it. And more speed on the outside in Splendor Glow, number 8. They're all in. Flag is up. And they're off. A hop at the start for Gun It and Run It. Also awkwardly away, Army Hero. Out great Nyquist Frequency and the speedy Splendor Glow. They tear off together. Frankie P is well back in third, but well positioned. Galantini is fourth along the fence. After a horrible start, Gun It and Run It has emerged mid-pack in fifth. Back in sixth is Governing Party, and moving on up is Army Hero from far, far back. They hit the half-mile juncture. It's Nyquist Frequency, out by half a length. Splendor Glow, up close in second. And now rolling on up. After a maiden score last out, Frankie P is on the move, 3 deep from the inside fence. Catching the eye is Governing Party, who's splitting rivals and about to go up into fourth. Dropping anchor is Galantini. On the outside, Gun It and Run It. And last is Army Hero. They're into the stretch. It's Nyquist Frequency. Gonna have to fend off Splendor Glow, who's back into it. Galantini is back into it. Floundering late is Governing Party, but it's over. Nyquist Frequency hammers. Galantini second. Frankie P, and then a photo for fourth. Splendor Glow or Governing Party. Judges really looking at the photo for fourth coming up here to complete the super. 3-1-5 in a photo. Thank you, Judge. Dead heat for fourth, 4 and 8. Dead heat for fourth, 4 and 8. Kids, if that sounds odd, that's a tie for fourth. So we'll have split superfectas. Give them both to you in a moment. Congratulations to owner Spencer Casera and trainer Pat Clay, Nyquist Frequency, and Angel Stanley with a 3-1 victory. 6-year-old gelded son of Nyquist. That is a 5-year-old gelded son of Nyquist out of the Indigo Shiner mare. Is It Gold, bred in Kentucky by Titletown Racing Stable. Dead heat for fourth, 4 and 8. Winning time 1 minute 10 3/5. Looks like more than a minute. In race number 8, scratch out the 6, Rhodium's Pride. They travel 6 furlongs again. Illinois bred or foaled racehorses. $10,000 allowance optional claiming race. 3-year-olds and up. Non-winners of a race other than. Wagering windows are open for the 8th and last. We're now official with the dead heat for fourth. Race number 7 is still official. Here are your prices for race 7. 10-cent superfecta, $25.98 for the 3158. The 3154, $6.52. Race 6 and 7 double, $73.10. Trifecta, $32.70. Exacta, $24.20. Pick 3 for races 5, 6, and 7, $301.40. Race number 8 coming up later on.
Welcome back, everybody. We got the 8th and final coming up. 6 furlongs the distance. These are Illini bred, optional claiming 10,000 non-winners of one. You guessed it, it's state bred. So we're going for a $39,000 purse. For those of you watching from your homes or wherever you are with your YouTube channel, remember, if you have Illinois bred horses, it behooves you to bring them over to Fairmount Park. Let's take a closer look at the field. Field comes in and experiencing a little tote problem, so I will talk you through this as best I can. We've got ourselves originally a field of 9, 1 scratch in the race. It's actually the 6 Rhodium's Pride. So Rhodium's Pride is out. That brings us down to a field of 8, but there are a 9 saddlecloth in the race. Let's start things off with the 7. That's right in front of you there. And that is Girolamo's Glory, a 10-year-old gelding, the son of Girolamo, who was a bit of a runner in their day. 9 for 41 lifetime, 9 seconds, 3/3. They've banked over $215,000 in the offering, and Lori Plasters gets the win last time out back on June 20th. That was the first race since October of last year. I like this horse. I think they're going to need a little help up front, but with the good track and there is a fair amount of speed, I think it makes a lot of sense for them. So where are we going on prices here? Well, I can't tell you right now, but 6 to 1 on the morning line. I don't expect to be a low price, but we'll see how that plays itself out. Move our attention over to the 9 Wildwood Reuben. 8 to 5 morning line favorite here for trainer Scotty Becker and his partner Charles Ritter. They did not breed this one. This is an Illini bred for William Sturritz. The 6-year-old Galib, another professional racehorse. 5 for 15 in the winner's circle. Absolutely bred top and bottom with Speightstown on the dam side for the sprint. 3 seconds, 3/3. Brisnet speed index number of 85, co-best number in the race. I think the horse makes a lot of sense. They draw the outside post, so that gives them really kind of a great spot to be in, because if nobody goes, they go. If not, they're going to sit off the flank of whoever does. So I like the way that horse is going. Obviously the scratch to the 6, Rhodium's Pride. So that has me go right to the 5, Tahoe Run, for Armando Hernandez, a 6-year-old, 3-hour nap. Likes to pick up checks. 1 for 10 at the distance, 3 for 35 at the distance, or rather of the career. And this is another one. They've banked over $242,000. Armando Hernandez looking for his 2nd winner of the meet. Afternoon Delights, you got to tell you, man, this is going back. The dam's probably fairly old because Fleet Alex is the sire of the dam, Tahoe Dream. And this is a John Hanna Enterprise type. Interesting horse. Hasn't won a race since 2024, though. So tough for me to make the call on that one. I want to give you one more because we did have the scratch. The 2-horse Hand Over My Heart, recently claimed off of Eddie Essenprice by Fernando Bahina. You can see right there, looking nice and relaxed. Took this horse for $62.50, non-winners of 5, and then decides to come up. You know, I don't think this is a bad move because this horse had been competing at these type of races and hadn't done bad. Hadn't done bad at all. In fact, won a state-bred optional 20 on June 2nd, wire to wire. This horse has got speed. Santos looking for another winner on the card. I think this is probably one of the more interesting ones in the field. And right now, bet down from 10 to 1 to 7 to 2. This is an interesting race. I can tell you right now, as you're looking at the feed here, and way to go, group. Got that one back up and running, man. That was not easy. And they came through like pros, as always. If you look at the board is telling you this is probably one of the most wide open races of the card. And I think, you know, I'd have to concur with them. But with all that being said, I'm going to stick with the 7 horse on top. That is Girolamo's Glory, but I would say everybody's kind of on their own for this one. This is not going to be an easy sequence. So, 795. 795 is how I see it. That's going to do it for me. We'll be back on Tuesday. Once again, 8 race card, 1:30 post. For my partner in crime, Keith Nelson, he's got one more race to call. But for everyone here at Excel Entertainment, we thank you so much for being with us. Have yourself a wonderful day. Stay hydrated. And remember, win, lose, or draw, we expect you here on Tuesday at Fairmount Park. For everyone here at Excel Entertainment, thank you so much for being with us. Have a good night, everybody. Good night.
Race number 8 will have 8 that go to the gate. Scratch number 6, Rhodium's Pride. Wagering menu, you have Superfecta, Trifecta, Exacta, Win Play Show wagering. Post time in 6 minutes. If you have an actual late pick four ticket, do not discard it. You can look at the will pays coming up. Still have just about 3 minutes until the eighth race. The horses are approaching the starting gate. Final wagers for our final race today. Next live racing comes at you on Tuesday at 1:30, the first of 8. Monomi Fuzzy, Tahoe Run. Move in. Girolamo Glory, Hand Over My Heart. Verrazano in the Sky, Looking for Bala. Wildwood Reuben. They're in the gate, and they're off. Tough start for Hand Over My Heart. Out very well late in the day, and Looking for Bala out together. Back in third is Tahoe Run. Fourth on the outside is Wildwood Reuben. Fifth on the inside is Verrazano in the Sky. After a tough start, Hand Over My Heart makes some hay. And then farther back we have No Speed 4, who's receding through traffic, Looking for Bala, and late running Girolamo Glory. On the front, it's late in the day, out by 2 over Looking for Bala, who's second. In third, there goes Tahoe Run on the underneath side, but is passed on the outer by Wildwood Reuben. Next coming up is Verrazano in the Sky, then Hand Over My Heart. Farther back there, Tahoe Run has gone the wrong way, and Monomi Fuzzy is about 20 lengths out of it, and it might be pulled up. Around the turn they go towards the 330. Wide turn for Looking for Bala. Still has some left. Late in the day is clinging, but is just desperate for more pace. Here comes a good move from Verrazano in the Sky, who's gaining, but they're not going to catch late in the day or Looking for Bala. Looking for Bala scores. Late in the day, ran too well to lose, got second. Then it was Verrazano in the Sky, and the late running, wow, good pace there for Monomi Fuzzy and Girolamo Glory. Looking for Bala 3-1. Four late in the day, 9-1. Verrazano in the Sky 15-1, and the 1 Monomi Fuzzy made up a ton of ground for fourth. Congratulations to the connections of number 8, Looking for Bala. Looking for Bala, and ridden by Victor Lara to victory. His second on the card, owned by Valerie Leonos, trained by Fernando Bahena. Looking for Bala is a 6-year-old gelded son of Balabali. Out of the Shaniko mare, Look Who's Here, bred in Illinois by Ben Barnow and Shelley Essen-Price. The winning time, 1:10.4, a minute 10.91 seconds. Now official, paid $825.24.60. Late in the day, 1027.40. Verrazano in the sky, 920 to show. The 10-cent superfecta, $314. Exacta, $39.50. Trifecta, $217.90. The late double three with 821.30. Pick four, 3 of 4 pays off. And the pick three paid $295.80. We'll give you the late pick four coming up. The late pick four, 3 of 4, $63.30. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here hopefully on Tuesday at 1:30 for the first of 8. In the 8th and final race, number 5 Tahoe Run is going through a shake now for multiple claims put in for number 5 Tahoe Run. We'll give you that information shortly. Number 5 Tahoe Run in the 8th race was claimed by new trainer Jim Watkins and new owner Martin Stein. Good night.